I think it's fairly evident that there isn't really any inherent meaning or purpose to life. There's no reason for us being here. We don't really understand our existence, or even if we do truly exist. All we really know is that we're conscious and we're able to experience and observe things. We're able to be a witness to the things that are happening around us. And I'm starting to think, well, I guess I've always thought this, but it's really starting to become apparent and clear to me now that the meaning of life that everybody searches for is found in literally just existing, like in just being. I mean, what else can it be? I know this might sound very mystical and sort of esoteric, but if you think about it, like you can easily prove to yourself that it can't be found in anything that you do or any experience that you have or anything that you acquire, because these things are impermanent, right? They're none of them are going to last forever, and even if they do, they're not going to ever bring you any kind of long-lasting real fulfillment or satisfaction or this happiness that we're all sort of chasing. So when you think about it, it has to be like the answer has to lie in just existing itself. Like, has to be good enough. Like, that's where the standard has to be, by literally just enjoying your existence. Now, that's it. Like, that's how high the bar is. And it sounds so trivial and silly, and you're like, what do you mean? It can't just be in existing. I have to accomplish things. I have to get this certain profession, and I have to acquire this amount of money, and I have to have this network of people, and the list goes on, right? But the thing is, you're going to spend your whole life just constantly chasing those things, one thing after the other. And don't get me wrong, I think those things play a role in our human form. I don't think that those things are completely useless or irrelevant in any sense at all. I still think we're kind of like playing a role, and there's certain things we want to achieve and accomplish as a human. But my point is, I don't think that those things are it. Like, I don't think that that's the ultimate answer. And to be fair, not everybody is searching for any kind of ultimate answer. Some people are okay with just constantly chasing one thing after the other. And, like a child running around playing with toys. They go up to one toy, they play with it for a bit, and then they get bored and they move on to something else. That's basically what adults are doing too, just in a different way, with different things, with their own kind of toys. You buy one car and then you get sick of it. You buy another one. You get in one relationship, you get sick of that, you go to another one. And not everybody does this. I'm just making a point, but some people don't even think about it. They don't realize it, right? But if you're interested in this sort of spiritual work, and if you watch my channel, you probably think about these sorts of things. You're probably like, there has to be something deeper there, right? And I think that it literally lies in just being. And the goal is to really be, to really exist in its like purest, most raw form, like to really just experience being in reality, like the best that you possibly can. I don't think that this is necessarily easy, because our mind gets in the way and it deludes us into always wanting to chase the next thing, and our body is very restless. And so it's not as simple as it sounds necessarily. It's conceptually pretty simple, but you might think like, okay, so let me try to sit and just be. Well, this is boring. I don't really like this. I don't feel good. I feel like I should be doing something, right? Your mind's going to come up with all types of problems. And this is essentially what the practice of yoga and meditation are meant for. This is what they were meant for. The yoga translates to union in Sanskrit. It's meant for you to be one with reality and be one with everything. So that's what these sorts of practices like breath work and deep meditation and self-inquiry, they take the mind out of the equation, so you can have this just like pure, unadulterated experience with reality, the best that you possibly could. And that is ultimately the key. Like, that's what this work is all about. Like, just eliminating all of these ideas and these concepts and these desires and these fears and these opinions and everything else that your mind creates, and to just simply be okay with just being, with just existing. I'm firmly convinced that that is it. People might try to find meaning in family. They might try to find meaning in their work. But you can't find meaning in things that aren't stable. Like just being is always there. There's nothing that can take that away from you. Like, just purely existing, no matter what situation you're going through in life. Obviously, some situations will make it harder than others, but for the most part, you can always come back to the fact that you simply are just a witness, that you're simply just here observing everything, right? And I think that that's the key. Like, I think that that's what we're all looking for. But due to societal factors and what we're brought up to believe and our mind conditioning, and we're led to believe that it's found in things, in some sort of greater purpose or some sort of achievement, crossing off the checklist of things we're supposed to do to be a successful person. And again, those things are fine, and you don't want to be a lazy bum, but you also always in the back of your mind want to kind of know that stuff is never going to really bring you the happiness that you're searching for, that we're all searching for. We're all searching for happiness in one way or another. Happiness might not be the best word to describe it, but we're all searching for some sort of fulfillment and satisfaction, right? Why else would we do anything? If we weren't, we would just lay down in the woods here and die. And you see, this is why people get so depressed. This is why I was so depressed, because I thought there was more. Like, I was like, there has to be more. Like, I need more. Like, I'm not good at things. I need to have this title next to my name. I look at all these people around me doing so much better. I have to measure up to them. I have to measure up to everybody else. But it's like so simple that our mind completely deludes us and steers us off the path. See? And that's why, like, a very effective meditation practice that can take a long time to really get the hang of. Effective meditation can take, months to really, really become proficient at. But that's really what the meditation is. It's teaching you to just be and to just exist. Like, it's funny. Like, we have to try to just be pure being, to just be in awareness. Like, we have to try to do that. Something that's so natural and innate to us. We have to, like, put all of this effort into doing it. I think it just also you get to a point where you realize it just can't be any other way. Once you really start, when you have a lot of self-awareness and you really shine that light of awareness on the things that you do in your day-to-day life, the things that you chase after, you kind of just realize, like, it can't be in anything of this world, like what we're searching for. It can't be in anything of the material world. And you get a little fed up with it, and you kind of lose, like, your dispassion for the world around you. And then I think that's when you have that realization, like, oh, it must not be in anything at all. It must be in just simply being okay with existing by just being here. Like, just being here for the show. Like, you have to look at the world around you as like a cinema. It's like a movie around you, always. Even your own body and you yourself are also in the cinema. Your consciousness isn't. Your awareness, your ability to observe. It's like, this is the idea of non-doership, right? You're not really doing anything. You're kind of just observing while everything is happening, yourself included. Or your human self, I should say. But you're kind of behind the scenes and everything. You're just sort of watching everything as it happens. Non-doership is a principle in Zen. It's also in Vedanta. It's not that you don't do anything. It means that you're not actually like things are kind of just happening. And when you sort of just surrender to the way that the world is moving and you just go in that flow, move according to the Tao, the way that the universe is flowing, and you just let things sort of happen, start listening to your intuition more, which is a little tricky sometimes. It's not that your intuition's always going to be right, but when you start listening more from your heart and you kind of start flowing more with the way that things are going, and you just allow things to happen, you deal with problems as they come, you don't put up any resistance, you just let it all sort of flow. That's the idea of non-doership. You're not really a person who's like doing things. You're kind of watching this person live throughout the world. I think it's just a matter of taking a step back and letting go a little bit, letting go of like the tension in your body and just allowing things to unfold, right? We have a problem with everything. Nothing is good enough. We need more. We need this to be different. Everything, there's always like some level of resistance. And again, it's not about not doing anything. It's about doing things and just letting what happens happen. You might consider things to be mistakes or failures, but they never are. That's just a distinction in your mind. You might consider losing a friend maybe, or a relationship as a bad thing, but maybe it's not good or bad. Maybe it just is. Start being indifferent to these sorts of scenarios and just let these things happen as they will. You're just a character in this show, in this movie. Ultimately, the goal is to get into that observation state and just watch everything around you as simply as if you're watching a film, as if you're watching a movie. You're indifferent to it all. You're not affected by events and objects of the world. You just let them all be. You just sort of let everything be. That's my Sunday talk for the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below.